Even if your wish list of places to go to keeps expanding, there are many places where you may get for your money the cheapest destinations to visit throughout the world, from Greece to Guatemala. You may also be interested in learning how to see the world's most expensive city without going over your budget. Where can you go that will enable you to stay longer, have a better experience, and save more money than other places? Here are these affordable travel destinations in 2022. Hello and welcome to Luxury Premier, the ultimate destination for dreamers pursuing insight. And if you're here with us, it's not a coincidence that you are watching this video. Here in Luxury Premier, we only want what is best for you. May our videos inspire you and hope that all of your dreams may come true. Thailand. Because of its beautiful islands, rich culture, beach huts, tempting food, and many experiences accessible for a fraction of the cost, Thailand has remained a favorite destination for backpackers. There are plenty of ways to avoid the crowds, even on the most well-traveled highways around the nation. Nakhon Si Thammarat offers some of Thailand's most extraordinary cuisine, and the Mae Hong Son Loop, a 600-kilometer ride through the country's northern highlands and dense forest, is a must-do. South Africa. One of the best things about visiting South Africa is that you won't have to break the bank to see the Big Five and other wildlife. Visit the Louis in Mfolozi and the Drakensberg to view white rhinos and escape the crowd of Kruger. Don't forget to include a few days in Cape Town. Vietnam. Despite the remarkable pace of change since the conclusion of the American War, Vietnam is still an incredible bargain for Western tourists. From the limestone cars of the north to the rivers and rice fields of the Mekong Delta, with idyllic beaches and bustling cities squeezed in between, the country's biggest draw is its stunning landscape. For a few bucks, you can have some of the most extraordinary Vietnamese cuisines in the city, sitting at the same table as the locals. Uruguay. Instead of heading to Brazil or Argentina, if you've already been there, travel to neighboring Uruguay instead. If you're a fan of steak, you'll be pleased to learn that it's still possible to get a good one in Montevideo, as well as some of the best beaches in the country, including Cabo Polonio, known for its wildlife and peaceful sands. Cuba. There's never been a better moment to visit Cuba than now, with ties between the United States and the Caribbean island improving swiftly. Go now before it transforms into something unrecognizable and before costs continue to rise and rise. Come to Havana and dance the night away in the salsa clubs. Travel to Santiago for the July Carnival, or just relax on the sands of Varadero Beach and enjoy the warm Caribbean waters. Prague, Czech Republic. Despite its popularity as a tourist destination and a popular destination for bachelor parties, Prague is still one of the most affordable capital towns in Europe. A filling lunch and a cold local beer cost just a few Czech crowns. In addition to the city's beauty and history, it's a great place to walk about and take it all in at your own pace. Greece. Economically, Greece has had it rough in the last several years. For many, day-to-day survival remains difficult even though it began trading on financial markets in mid-2018 after 8 years of bailouts. When times are tough, it makes sense to visit and help those who live here. However, rates are still lower than they were a few years ago, so you may be able to fit in an additional island or two. As long as you have enough cash on hand to cover all of your expenses, you'll have a wonderful time on your vacation. Guatemala. It's impossible not to be enthralled by Guatemala's natural splendor, Mayan culture, and colonial legacy. It is a great spot to learn Spanish since classes are inexpensive. Once you've mastered the language, take a trip throughout the country on one of the famed chicken buses or camionetas. The southern city of Antigua is a lovely place to spend some time, while the gigantic Maya temples of Tikal are a sight to see. India. In a few other countries, you can still go as far as you want and eat as well as you like in India at a shoestring price. If you're looking for a beach vacation, travel to the temple town of Gokarna. If you're in the mood for Indian street cuisine, you can't go wrong with the puris and kebabs of Mumbai street stalls. Or if you want to explore the Thar Desert, head to Jaisalmer. Portugal. For those who don't want to deal with the crowds in Spain's tourist hotspots, Portugal is still an excellent value in Western Europe. The ruggedly stunning Alentejo coast and bustling, uber-cool Lisbon are much more exciting alternatives to the Algarve. Bolivia. Bolivia is one of the least expensive nations in South America, but it is also one of the least well-known. With so much to see, it's hard to believe that it's possible to go here and not be blown away. The stunning Salar de Uyuni Salt Flats, a 2 or 3 day tour that often costs less than £100 or $150, are at the top of the list. Mexico. Tacos and tequila will not break your wallet in Mexico, which is fantastic news since there is so much to see and do in this colorful nation. The nation will leave you wanting more, whether it's to relax in a white sand hammock, eat some of the most fantastic street cuisines in the country in Oaxaca, or take a dip in a crystal clear cenote. Laos. The country of Laos distinguishes itself even among the region's many low-cost vacation spots. Travel north of beautiful Luang Prabang to riverside Nong Kiao, where for pennies on the dollar, you can get a waterside bungalow and enjoy a refreshing bottle of beer lao while watching the boats ply the karst-surrounded river. The Gambia. You need to go beyond its beaches to get most out of your trip to the smallest nation in Africa. River Gambia National Park's River Gambia Chimp Rehabilitation Center is the best place to see primates in their natural environment. The Baobulong Wetland Reserve is one of the continent's top places for bird watching, and the setting light makes it even more magical. Shanghai, China. Travelers on a budget can't get enough of the city's incredible street cuisine, from xiaolongbao soup dumplings to scallion pancake and sticky rice packages. It's still possible to get a good deal on a hotel room at the lower end of the price range, and the city's attractiveness rests in contrast between old and modern China that you can see for yourself. Istanbul, Turkey. Istanbul's allure is undeniable, with one foot in Europe and the other in Asia. Even on a limited budget, Istanbul is still a terrific option for those who want to experience some of the city's most popular attractions. Among the most significant ways to see Istanbul are aboard a Bosphorus boat, strolling around a grand bazaar, or tucking into a freshly cooked kebab on a street-side patio. London, England. We already know that London isn't expensive. Going to hostels, using public transportation, and dining at cafes will take up much of your money. Even yet, few destinations in the world can beat the capital city's profusion of free sites, including the Rosetta Stone, Lindo Man, artwork by Monet and Dali, and dinosaur and blue whale bones. Egypt. You'd anticipate Egypt travel to be much more expensive given the many mind-blowing historical attractions. Even if you see the pyramids, the Valley of the Kings, and Abu Simbel, it's not hard to feel that you're practically able to live like a pharaoh thanks to an expensive cuisine and reasonable budget accommodations. Philippines. The archipelago of the Philippines is expensive and time-consuming to move around, and there aren't as many hostel alternatives as in other Southeast Asian nations. These two concerns may put off travelers on a tight budget, but there are methods to keep your costs down in the Philippines. Traveling to the Philippines on a budget is still possible if you plan. Go during off-peak seasons, book your flights and accommodations well in advance, and stay within 1 or 2 areas. Furthermore, the country is home to some of the most picturesque islands, stunning diving locations, and hidden treasures in the globe that you'd have had to spend a fortune for elsewhere. As a result, visiting the Philippines is a wise investment. All of us need a break from reality from time to time. With travel, we can experience total isolation in fresh and uncharted territory. As a result of this freedom, we can live in the present and do anything we want. When I took a 6-month vacation across the globe back in the day, the most incredible thing was the flexibility of waking up, looking at a map, and deciding where I wanted to go. People might be more impulsive and adventurous when they travel. Travel is, without a doubt, a humbling experience. Our worldview broadens as we travel across borders and seas. We become more appreciative of the things we take for granted in our own lives and develop a greater understanding of the lives of others. Travel instills its passengers tolerance, adaptability, and humility. Today, we hope you learned something new that you will remember for the rest of your life. We'd like to thank everyone who has stayed with us this far. Despite the fact that we have never met, please know that we respect and admire you for choosing to be here today. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us, dreamers. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos.